What is going on YouTube? It is Gryzzly here, and today we are talking about what the next Assassin's Creed game will be. So if you didn't know already, Assassin's Creed has been postponed for a year. This is mainly because they're just waiting, trying to make a better game, so they don't pump out games that are pretty trash if they're making one every year. Call of Duty. So pretty much no matter what you search, if you search Assassin's Creed 2017, everything that shows up is about Assassin's Creed Empire, and that is being an Egyptian-based game where you're like a slave and you say nothing, and it's pretty much going to be like The Witcher 3. I, for one, have done some research, and I believe that that is not going to be the game. However, this is all just a theory, so if I'm wrong, don't state me on anything that I said, so let's just get right into it. So I was playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I found these things, and I'm sure many other people have found them before because it's pretty easy to find, and it's pretty much some emails between Abstergo and like their owners and everything like that, and it's pretty much talking about the future Assassin's Creed games essentially. There was like a bunch of emails, so I'm pretty much going to go through the most important ones. This first email says, so this leads us to a broader question: what other experiences would we like to offer? What other historical periods and locations can we explore? Judging by our current rate of data retrieval, our capacity to produce, and our understanding of consumption trends, executives at Abstergo Industries have given me the goal of producing one complete virtual experience per annum in addition to small offerings as our research allows. This includes books, recordings, films, and any other transmedia offerings. So if you guys do remember, Assassin's Creed Flag is a couple years old, so this stuff obviously, if you're paying attention in the Assassin's Creed world, have already become true, as there's an Assassin's Creed movie coming out soon, and there's been other little games since then. So when they say one virtual experience per annum, obviously that's being broken with this Assassin's Creed game, as they are making one every 2 years now, hopefully. And then below here they say something about the Liberation Project, that obviously that's talking about Assassin's Creed Liberation. And then somebody emails back and they say something about like blah blah blah, we have some stuff, and here's all the interesting time periods. And so they have the patrilineal line, which includes 15th century Italian Renaissance, 16th century Ottoman Empire, 18th century American colonies, war for independence, 19th century New England and American Midwest, matrilineal line, 12th century Holy Land Crusades, 13th century Egypt and Northern Africa, 14th century Ashikaga Shogunate in Japan, I'm sorry if I butchered that name, 18th century French Revolution, 19th century Napoleonic Wars, Taiwan, and 20th century Summer of Love, American Pacific Coast. So obviously this is really exciting, as they pretty much named all the possible areas for the games and time periods. The majority of these games have already been made, and that would include Italian Renaissance, Ottoman Empire, 18th century American colonies and war for independence, and then the French Revolution and Napoleonic Wars, not in Taiwan, but the Napoleonic Wars nonetheless. So obviously you can see Egypt and Northern Africa, Holy Land and Crusades, Ashikaga Shogunate in Japan, and then you have Summer of Love, American Pacific Coast. So right off the bat we can cross off the 20th century Summer of Love, American Pacific Coast, as I will be touching on that later. And so pretty much we're left with Ashikaga Shogunate in Japan, Egypt, Northern Africa, Holy Land and the Crusades, and kind of New England and American Midwest. And then they proceed to show us about 6 images, and they all look like possible Assassin's Creed games, so I'm kind of going to be going over them right now. So the first one is a person standing over a guy, and you can see a little, it's almost a deputy star, so it kind of looks like cowboys, and I'll be touching on that in a little bit. And then you have the lady against there, and I'm pretty sure that's one of the revolutions. And then you have the French Revolution. And then you have a war, almost looks like World War II maybe, image, or something to do with a war. And then we have this type of almost Roman, Egyptian, Indian type thing with some water in the background and some boats. And then you have a, almost looks like a slave standing in front of some pyramids, which is why lots of people think it's going to be in Egypt. Later there's an email that says, I even have a great-great-grandfather who fought in the American Civil War, managed to meet President Lincoln a few times. Going this route is a little more costly and time-consuming. This is a possible option for the next game, mainly because it says time consuming. I don't think that this will be the next game, but just something interesting. Also in this email, there's something about Jane d'Arc, which is Joan of the Arc, and that would be kind of cool, but I don't think that'll be the game either. One of the most important emails that I found is this. It says, one additional caveat. Let's avoid digging into any modern periods, i.e. 20th century, unless we find something incredibly compelling, because as fun as World War II setting might sound, we'd do well to avoid any settings with the vehicles, cars, motorcycles. So that is very mind-blowing, as you can tell. So that's pretty much confirming that this will never go into the future or into the present even, unless it's like obviously like outside of the animus and stuff. In a couple of the emails, they were talking about a poet who lived in Quebec City, and somebody replied, haha, Quebec City is beautiful, but without pirates, ninjas, or zombies, I'm not sure how well a story about a historian would sell, smiley face. So this is pretty cool that they did mention this. It says, but without pirates, ninjas, or zombies. That is pretty important because obviously this Black Flag game is about pirates, and zombies will never be an Assassin's Creed game unless it goes really down the drain. And it says ninjas, and ninjas has been a thing that people have been pushing for in the Assassin's Creed community. A game that you're assassin ninja in Japan or China or something would be absolutely insane, and that is not out of the picture thanks to this. And touching on that zombie thing, they actually say there is factual basis for zombies, or zombification anyway, so not actual like the Walking Dead zombies, but and then they go on to say, in Liberation, Avalon came into contact with voodoo hoonigans, or hoongans, I don't know, however you say that. If we dig further into that, I wonder what we could find, question mark. Her mentor, Agate, was into some weird stuff. So something very interesting was just said there. That just means Agate could be a possible character in one of the upcoming games. To close this episode out, I have the most important email that I found in this whole game. So to set this up, they're pretty much talking about like some pretty boring stuff, like, oh, let's work on like Albert Einstein or like historians and stuff, and then they says, let's stick to that sells. I'm talking Jack the Ripper in Victorian London. I'm talking about guillotines, Robespierre, and Napoleon Bonaparte in the French Revolution. I'm talking about Billy the Kid and Wyatt Earp in the wild American West. I'm talking about Genghis Khan and the Mongols killing a city of millions in the span of a long summer weekend. Action, blood, adventure, conflict. So this is the most incredible thing I found, obviously because this came out before the last 3 games, and it says I'm talking Jack the Ripper in Victoria and London, and there's already a game on that, obviously Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I'm talking guillotines, Robespierre, and Napoleon Bonaparte in the French Revolution, Assassin's Creed Unity, and then I'm talking about Billy the Kid and Wyatt Earp in the wild American West. Both those people are very popular cowboys, and so that is just absolutely insane if we could play that. And I'm talking Genghis Khan and the Mongols killing a city of millions, so that is another option. And I think these two are the most important because this game came out before the Victorian London and the French Revolution, so I think that these 4 games are going to be the next couple Assassin's Creed games. Billy the Kid, some cowboy action, and then some Genghis Khan Mongol action, which is absolutely insane. So if your guys' minds were absolutely blown by this episode, please do like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time.